The following program contains adult language, descriptions of fantasy violence, and a general lack of skill, talent, and quality. Audience discretion is advised.
Last time on Party of 5e.
It's just the 5 of you heading towards the west.
Do we have to keep going this way?
What I feel, it is this way.
This was my home for the better part of the last 40 years.
What you see is not a tower at all. In fact, it is a very large pile of brick and stone in a place where a tower used to be. The thing that you do see, however, is a doorway.
I'm just going to try the door handle.
Everyone, let's go ahead and roll some initiative. Fox, you are pretty sure that this is some kobold technology going on here. Fox, you're the only one that noticed another critter seem to escape.
Yeah, I'm running after it.
And you just hear a giant splatting noise. You all get across the mosaic floor without any further incident. On the left side is a doorway to the next room.
Then I open the door.
And this is what you see.
And now, the continuation.
What you all see is, so this is it's a fairly large room. It is obviously as wide as that hallway was, or as wide as that hallway was long. So probably about 30-ish feet. It's about another 30-ish feet to the other end of the wall. In this room, you've got what looks like maybe a little desk or something in the far left, or in the close left corner, because directions. In the close left corner is like a little desk or a little table, a little work table, something like that. You see lots of bookshelves along the right wall. And there is a very large table in that kind of predominantly takes up most of the middle area. All of the bookshelves in here, there's even some that line the back. All of the books the whole place has been ransacked, right? All of the books have been strewn about, either destroyed or torn through. Everything is just in shambles. The table, however, it's a pretty long table. It's probably about it's like a long banquet table. All the chairs have been destroyed, probably used for the firewood and in all the fires that the kobolds were using. There is only one chair left at the far end of the table, and you see someone sitting in that table. What you see, you can't quite tell how big they are because they're slumped over quite a bit. Just slumped over with one arm on the table, and they don't look well. What you can surmise. Go ahead and give me another perception check. See what details you do get.
Nat 20.
Nice.
That one.
That's
Oh,
annoying.
no.
Yikes.
Rummerhen got a 19, I got a 15.
Nice. Okay, very good. So far, what you can see, just at the end of the table, being obscured, this figure is leaned over, and like with the high rollers, his skin is just, so he's not wearing a shirt. Like he doesn't have a shirt on right now, and his skin is just pasty and looks sickly. It's like he's sweating. His hair is long and stringy. Some little elvish ears kind of poking out through whatever hair is actually left. And as you guys walk in, as you get a little bit closer, you start to see the other arm that his left arm that he's kind of leaning on. He's actually you start to see the skin go from that pasty white skin, and it starts turning into green, and it actually looks like it's getting bigger as that arm gets bigger and bigger, and it looks like scales. And when he looks up, he starts looking at you, and you see he's got these teeth, these large teeth and fangs, and he's got this huge underbite, and he just looks at all of you. He's like,
I knew those pathetic creatures would be no match for anyone.
And then he kind of looks at Lukthaen. It's like,
it looks like the youngling has returned. No, it's a matter of time.
go ahead and give me another perception check. Lukthaen.
9.
All right. Clearly this person recognizes you. You don't quite recognize him. What all are you doing presently?
Hiding. I would love to get the baby back and cloak him again. Can I do that? I'm just going to grab him.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
on the
not
shoulders.
gonna.
You're
Yeah,
in front of me.
Because I was already
I'm
thinking about
grabbing
slinking him.
Yeah,
Slinking him back. So.
I'm grabbing him. Strapping him.
All right. So as you guys, and how are you guys moving around or anything?
So as soon as I saw him come in, I probably went in 10 or 15 feet, and then whenever I saw him, kind of stopped as everyone else kind of came in. After that happens, I'm gonna look at him and say, "Sir, what business do you have here, and how do you know my acquaintance?"
So he shifts his attention over to you. It's like,
What business do you have here? I have authority here now.
Under what right?
I'm the strongest one. I am the strongest one here. If you want what I have, I dare you to take it.
and so he stands up, and what look like a sickly, elvish-looking individual, he stands up, and he gets to about 7 feet tall, and you see that not only is this large green arm with a claw rather than hands, also his legs are large, or much larger than proportional, and also green and scalular, and large claws on his feet, and he has a very large club. So he's not he doesn't care too much about you all. Go ahead and everyone else give me a perception check as well.
I got a 10.
7.
You can now that you've learned more information, you can go and give me another one.
I'm gonna have Romarin roll.
Sure.
Too. Maybe communicate a little bit more. No,
Retired all my nights.
I'll roll for me. 13.
Okay.
By
Well-
the way, sorry, I didn't say this, but while everyone else was shifting and posturing, I've been like statue since the moment he looked at me and started addressing me. I'm frozen solid.
Mm-hmm. Fox wouldn't necessarily know this, but with an Nat 20, all of these features and whatnot that he is clearly, one way or another, grafted upon himself or grown from himself or something. All the greenish flesh that he has on him is definitely some type of draconic origin. Definitely like it's definitely some type of dragon flesh that he has grafted onto himself. So he is, he thinks he is, with a nat 20, he thinks he is the most powerful one because he is trying to, garner his own dragon-like powers by taking these parts of dragons and grafting it onto himself to try to absorb those powers. And what was your other perception again?
13 and 1.
Yeah. So the 13, he doesn't look familiar, but the voice is starting to sound familiar. And you're trying to rack your brain, but you feel like maybe that's one of the voices that you heard the night that your master's tower was attacked. So you're starting to think, it's like there's something about it. With only a 13, there's something about it sounds familiar. And that's in your mind, that's the only connection that you're making. Okay. So why don't we all go ahead and roll for some initiative?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so what are our numbers?
9.
6.
2.
Okay.
Luke got a 9, but is gonna beat the tie with the fox. And
That's crazy.
yeah, powers, special powers. And then the hawk got a 18. Excuse me.
Rom gets to go first. So again, this individual, you don't know his name yet. He gets up and obviously very threatening. He is basically daring you to a fight, and he starts moving towards you guys with a giant club. So Rom, what's Rom gonna do?
Rom, being much braver than his companion, is just gonna like leap off the shoulder and just fly straight towards this creature. And is just gonna start, like, his classic move is mostly just pecks at the creature's feet.
Okay.
Especially if they're like considerably tall.
Yeah.
He's trying to stay out of his own harm's way, but is distracting enough to where somebody might be able to jump on him.
Right.
And I would like to use that to give Fox the help action.
Got it. Okay. So does he do any kind of damage or anything with that?
No, he specifically cannot attack.
Got it. Okay. So yeah, he stands up, and yes, he's significantly taller. Got some. This guy clearly never skipped leg day with those haunches, and single arm day. But everything else about him is just sickly. So he's just gonna start pecking at like his feet or something.
Rom's just kind of underfoot, like you're walking through your house and your dog is there, and you're like just not sure where you can step. It's a little bit of a distraction for him to not really know where he can place himself.
Right. So he starts pecking away at his legs, and he's like,
Filthy pest.
he starts trying to kick away at him. But Lukthaen actually goes next.
Yeah, I am going to. I think for right now, I'm just going to try to hit with a firebolt.
Classic.
18 to hit.
That does hit.
For 1 fire damage.
Oh, slow down there, cowboy.
Yeah.
Ease up. All right. So, Fox is next.
That's gonna be 22.
Nice. Definitely hits.
That's gonna be 10.
Nice. All right. So it is. We'll call him the Grafter. It is his turn.
Gross.
So he is gonna go ahead and kind of take this side of the table to walk up. Since you're the one that's kind of squaring up on him, he's just going to go ahead. And you're the one that gave him some lip. He is just going to go ahead. So he actually gets 2 attacks. Let's see. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll for both of them. We got... so at first he's going to go ahead and use his claw. His claw is going to go after you. That is a 17 plus 5.
No, that's definitely going to hit.
And then and then a 10 plus 5?
It's going to miss.
That misses. Okay. So he strikes at you with the claw first. 7 damage on the claw.
Nice.
That is going to be slashing damage.
Okay.
And then also, let's do... And then also 5 points of poison damage.
Oh, jeez.
So that hits pretty hard.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking real rough.
And you know, he probably just swings so hard that it knocks you back a little bit. So much so that he misses with his club that he's using in his other hand. And that means Arlo is next.
Okay, I will wild shape into a dire wolf and run right at him.
Nice.
How far is he?
Well, at that point, since he came to the end of the table, he's probably, at that point, 10, 15 feet away from where you would have been.
Okay. So yeah, I'll go right up to him, and then I'll bite at him. That's 17 to hit.
That hits.
So that'll be 13 damage.
Nice.
And he'll have to succeed on a DC 13 saving throw or be knocked prone.
What kind of saving throw?
Strength.
That is a 19 plus 3, so that saves. That means it is Aust's turn.
Oof. Well, kind of limited on options.
You just hurt him good. That's all.
I guess that's what I'll do. I'm gonna take a swing at him with my glaive, and that's a natural 20.
Hey.
Noise.
And so then I'm gonna use my smite as well.
Here it goes.
And then he's not undead or fiend, is he?
He is not.
Okay. All right. So that is gonna be 18, 27 plus 3. So that's gonna be 30 damage.
Nice.
So yeah, you rear back. You give him a you're swinging for the fences. You make great contact, and you see the light. You see that radiant light coming from the glaive with the smite, and it is not good. It is not. He doesn't like it. Obviously, you see him take it. He just takes the brunt of that. You just see it in his face, like "Urgh!" He is not happy with it, but he's still standing. When he kind of regains his focus, he's just looking around at all you. It's like, and he looks right at Lukthaen. He's like,
Better fight than your master did.
and now Rom is up. Rom still gonna be a pest.
No. Rom is gonna back up at my command. He's gonna fly back towards me. How does, mechanically, how does this dude look?
So obviously, there's a lot of magical elements about him with all this dragon flesh upon him. But even for something that looks as grotesque as this, he's not looking good.
Okay.
It's probably not going to take much.
Okay. Lukthaen, when he made that biting remark about his master, something kind of clicked with Luke, and he kind of looks all over at you guys and he says, "Keep him alive." And I'm actually, because there's nothing that I can do to this guy that would keep him alive mechanically, I'm gonna hold. Let's see, how do I want to state this? I'm gonna hold. Well, I can only do this in a cantrip. So I'm gonna hold Firebolt under the condition that he looks like he's getting ready to flee, specifically anytime between now and when my next turn comes up.
Okay.
But if he stays and fights, I'm actually not gonna act.
Okay. That means it's Fox's turn. But okay, so you say that you do say
yeah. You guys can do whatever you want.
I just want to make sure. You did say that you said it. I just want to make sure
loud.
everyone heard it. Okay, so it's up to you on what you end up doing.
Yeah, no, seeing that obvious change in attitude and, knowing all that, I would like to not kill him.
So how do you not kill him with a bow?
I know, right? What if I tried to lasso him?
You can try that.
Try to grapple him?
Yeah.
with the rope.
Okay, you could try.
All right. Nat 20.
Nat 20. Okay, so you're able to get the rope, and good, right? Good old cowgirl style. You're able to get that.
Yellowstone.
And specifically, where are you trying to get it? You just around his neck or around his body?
I would, try to get it around his body.
Okay. So he's kind of a big guy, right? And he's over here taking swings over at Aust. Right. So let's say with a nat 20, you're able to get it out there, and you're able to get it, so maybe as he's taking a big swing, you're able to get it over maybe part of his body, since you're able, so over his head and over that arm, like just in that moment, right, as he's taking a swing, and you get the rope around. Right, so now I guess give me a strength check to see if he doesn't just overpower.
I probably should have gone.
Okay, what do you got?
Okay. 3.
Okay, so that does not beat a 19.
No.
Despite you getting a beautiful hold on him with the rope, he's still able to just kind of power through because you're obviously not. Your hands are slippery or something. Despite you not handling the meat sack, your hands are a little slippery. Like, oh no. So it's getting away from you. So now it is. So it's back to the Grafter's turn.
Is it still around him though?
It's still around him,
Okay.
but it's not really doing anything. You're not. You are clearly not stronger than this 7 foot tall half dragon-ish looking thing. So he just almost ignores what you're even trying to do, and he is going to go ahead and attack Aust again. So let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and roll both attacks. That is a 14 plus 5.
That hits.
Add an 8 plus 5.
Does not.
Okay, so again with the claw. So that is 10 slashing damage.
I'm down.
And then 2 poison damage. So
I'm down either way.
So you're down. So
great job trying to take him alive, guys.
So yeah. Aust goes down, and again he just looks up at you. He's like,
"You will be next."
And so it is Arlo's turn.
I will bite the dragon arm, also trying to cause non-lethal damage.
Okay.
But trying to take him down. 18 to hit.
That's gonna hit.
7 damage.
Okay.
And is he still alive?
So, alive is a strong word. So you're able to. So you said non-lethal. So you're just going for the dragon arm. So yeah, you get a good bite on his dragony wrist, and you can definitely see like the blood start pouring out. and he falls to the ground, and he is dead, not dead. So what? Like canine style, you just kind of drag him down and kind of hold him down.
Yeah.
And so he is down. So what all would you? So Aust is down. So we're still technically. Well, let's maintain initiative order. So you taking him down. He's down. Aust. It is Aust's turn.
Oh my gosh. It was a 10 and then right to the 8.
Match.
So
Okay.
I failed one of my death saves.
Okay. So Rom/Luke.
Okay, so unfortunately, I think my character is really just more concerned with this dude. So I'm gonna take the rope that I would have from my normal inventory, and I'm gonna try my hand at trying to fasten his arms behind his back.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever I need to do to try to make that
Okay.
happen.
So he's already down. He already has one rope around him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And this is a pretty big dude. What is your rope proficiency? No.
Well, I'm pretty dexterous. I'm above average
Sure.
with just general dexterity.
Okay, so we'll just say he's down. So we'll just say that you do that. You guys are able to, with the help of Arlo, you're able to kind of drag him. Maybe you take that one hand, take the other hand, and get his at least get him tied together. You're probably not able to move him around too much, but he's down on the ground, currently unconscious, with now both of his arms together. Let's go ahead and say we are out of initiative now. So what are you guys trying to do now? So we got Aust is down. This critter is down, and you are trying to do. Bleh.
Me specifically?
Yeah, sure.
I am waiting for this dude to come back to consciousness so I can ask him a question.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop my dire wolf and go try to stabilize him.
Oust?
Yes.
Okay.
Medicine.
What is that, medicine?
Mhm.
Okay. This is 17. 5.
Okay. Not quite. Not on.
Yeah.
Not just chest compressions are not quite doing it right now. So either try again later or try something else. And you know what? Here's what I'll do. Because you want him to become conscious again, I'll see if he. Let's see if the Grafter saves on death saves, and he doesn't bleed out from the.
Yeah.
So we'll do it that way. How about we stay in order, and I'll just see if this guy doesn't just die before you guys do something about it.
Right.
So that's a 10, so that saves. So he's still currently alive. Arlo, you did that, and now Aust. It is now your turn again. You can either try to death save.
That's the only thing
Yeah,
I
that's
can
all
do.
you got.
I failed again.
2 failures. All right. Luke.
Okay. Yeah. There's a way I can help, but it's kind of can't do it right now. My if you're asking what Haugh is doing, he's just perched on my shoulder.
Okay.
Really.
Yeah. So
then he gets assistance, right?
So Grafter is dying. Aust is dying. What are you gonna do?
In the interim, while I'm I think I kind of come back to and see that my ally is down. I have no proficiency, but maybe I've read a book or something, and I'll try my hand at stabilizing.
Okay.
4.
Okay. So now it's back to Fox. You got 2 people dying, 1 good, 1 bad. What do you want to do about them?
Yeah. I'm gonna ask Fail. what we could do. Maybe.
So
You can do
Can
a
I
medicine.
stabilize it?
You can
Oh,
do a
can
medicine
you do
check.
that?
Yeah, anybody can make that.
Okay,
check.
all right.
You can make a medicine
let's try it.
check, yeah.
I'm try it. I'm
Yeah.
try it. Okay. Okay. Medicine.
I think you really just need
It's
10 or
10.
better. 10, that's a
yeah,
success.
so 10 stabilizes. So you're able to kind of. It doesn't seem like Aust is in too much of a hurry to shuffle off this mortal coil, but he is definitely still unconscious. But
we have some time to get
so you have a little bit. So we need a medic. And so I guess that's the Grafter's turn. Let's see if he passes or fails. That is a fail. So he is dying as well. That means Arlo. What do you want to try to do?
Okay, question. I have a herbalism kit. Could I get him to 1, or is he just as far as we're gonna get him right now?
That's a great question. I don't think I've heard anyone use that before. Without the immediate threat of Aust dying, now let's say we're out of initiative. And I'll check one more time. That is so that is actually a nat 20 for the Grafter. So he is able to kind of shake his way out of unconsciousness. He is obviously, bloodied from the physical damage. He is burned from the radiant damage. He finds himself tied up. Not sure how well we did with the tie up. Why don't we just roll to see how well you tied him up?
sleight of hand.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Crit fail.
Okay. So just like in the those Old West movies where they take the horse to the little banister and they just like wrap the right, he knows not to go anywhere, right? Just wrap it around there. You're not tying it. That's probably about as good as it did, and he's immediately able to break out of there, and he starts just kind of searching for his club. That's what he's doing. So that's what he's doing right now. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, so I see him wriggle free of his entrappings, and just realizing that this might be like my last opportunity before he goes haywire again. I take out a dagger from inside my robes, and I kind of just start like stumbling towards him, and I say, "Is she alive?" Right.
So as you're doing that, again, he's still kind of on the scurrying around on the ground, trying to find his club in order to try to do somebody some harm. You're coming right at him, just with your dagger kind of jostling about, and as he hears you, he looks up at you and is like,
"She's better off that way."
At that point, you're about level with his neck as it stabs right into him, and he just stares right at you. And then he falls forward dead.
I think I'd probably just crumple on the floor next to him.
While all this was happening, Haugh, he was kind of ducked under the table because he didn't know what else to do in the situation either. And so as this is happening, as the way it ended up happening, most of the stuff is kind of off to the to the left corner of the room. So Haugh is kind of just making his way out from under the table and just kind of wandering around the rest of the room. And when he gets into the far left corner, there's a section of the wall. As he gets closer to it, like a silhouette of a doorway starts to glow purple. And so he sees that, and he backs away slowly, or no, not slowly. He backs away quickly because he doesn't know what that is. As soon as he, give me a perception to see if anyone notices that.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
I'm not gonna make a perception check.
Okay.
There's no
You're so focused on what just happened,
And I'm still unconscious.
and you are still unconscious.
17.
So you all definitely notice what happens over there, right? You got one of your guys down on the ground. The bad guy is now dead. Lukthaen, with a bloody, who knows what color blood his dagger is covered in. Probably just frozen with what he has just had to deal with. But you guys did notice what happened with Fayal over in the corner. So what do you guys do now?
Gonna try to scoot the baby back up, and I'm gonna try to get this guy to snap out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Luke. I'm sorry, but there's. Do you see all this purple going on here? We need to.
So when he stepped away from the door, the glowing went away.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna come over and
We need to.
pet on.
We need to see about getting
Yeah.
Aust some healing.
I think we. Can I try to, with my herbalism kit, can I try to make a potion? Like if I just sit and like try to make it, because it says it allows me to do that.
You can try.
It would be a salve. It wouldn't be a potion. More
Yeah.
likely. But I was thinking maybe if he had some rare herbs that he could like mush up in his mortar and pestle and get Aust to just kind of chomp on it and imbibe it, and maybe get some a hit point or something.
I know the dude was super sickly, but like he's still grafted, right? So there should be some stuff, I would imagine, in the.
I'm next to him. I guess I'll search his person.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Gonna
Investigation.
search the body or something? Or?
Yeah. Would that be investigation?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's see what you find. If you find it.
20.
Nat or
No,
not?
unnatural.
Dirty 20?
13.
What you find mostly is obviously a lot of scraps of his clothing, whatever it used to be, and probably what you imagine the Hulk's pants would actually end up being like. They're just all tattered and just it's not good. On his person, you don't find anything other than some of the scales that are along his arm. As you're kind of searching the body, a piece of one of those scales just kind of seems to kind of break off in your hand as you're kind of like moving the body around. Piece of it just kind of breaks off in your hand, and now you have a piece of his scales.
Has anyone else searched anyone?
So you said you tried to scoop up the baby because after he noticed the purplish glow, he is very curious about what is going on over there. So and again, he's giving you that motion to try to put him down. So what all would you like to do?
Can we resolve this question, though? I think it's still kind of unclear. Can he create any kind of basic healing thing?
Let's
limited amount of time.
Let's say yes. Let's just, for the sake of argument, let's say yes. You're able to kind of crumble something up, that at least let's say it's good berry-ish in nature, that you're able to kind of mush something together, and you're able to as if you I don't know, you're able to you just take a little bit of something and you just kind of spit into it and just kind of mush something up, and you just kind of, as best as you can, just kind of force it into his mouth and get him to
You have to masticate him.
a little bit. And so yes, you're able to do that, and he's giving you just a wisp of consciousness. Probably not fully alert, but your eye, that time when you're like you don't want to wake up, so you kind of just barely blink your eyes, so not too much light gets in. That's about where you are right now. So he is not great. A good stub on his toe could probably do it, but yes, he's alive.
What happened?
You died. You went unconscious.
Ugh.
Yeah, welcome back.
That's the worst nap of my life.
Do you have anything to yourself? I could barely get a pulse back on you.
I do. I'm gonna use lay hands on pool on myself.
Nice.
And give myself my entire pool bag of 10 hit points.
Okay.
It's a big one.
Okay. So, as Fayal kind of insisted on letting down, again, he's going up to that door and just kind of walks a little bit closer, gets within about 5 feet, and it glows purple again. And then he just kind of takes a step back. It gets, again, kind of with it outside of that 15 feet, that 5 foot radius. The glowing goes away.
Does anybody want to check out that door?
Maybe we should just take a short break and just
You want to rest?
yeah,
a little bit?
just take a breather.
Yeah.
This
I
little
could
baby
use
dragon
rest.
seems a little impatient about it.
Faya, you'd be okay if we just took a little breather here, right?
Well, so he's looking around. He's like, and you guys are behind him at this point. And he kind of turns his ear in your direction. It's like, and then he kind of starts to think about it. I do not feel any further danger, but there is something behind this door. Because looking at it, without having seen that silhouette, it just looks like the wall. But go ahead and give me another perception check.
It's an 18 for me. As I start to get my
18 for
bearings.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
That one.
16 for Luke.
Got it. So you are so ingrained in what Fayal specifically is doing, you're not even paying attention to the door. Everyone else can kind of see something again, door, section of the wall that looks like a door when the glowing happens. It looks like there's a lot of damage onto that part of the wall, as if someone was trying to get in there, but obviously couldn't. So yeah. So you guys want to short rest it? Or?
Yes.
Yeah, short rest here.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess in the meantime I can be picking off some scales. They're coming off. Then I don't know how the door works. It might just be him that can go through. Maybe we can go through if we have scales.
You don't know.
I don't know.
But
It's silly.
but what are you guys doing in the meantime?
Picking off scales.
So you're going back and just picking off scales off of the.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So most of the other scales don't really seem to break off that as easily as that one seemed to for Lukthaen.
Well, I believe this was constructed by my master. I would highly doubt that anything related to dragons would have any kind of key effect.
And it looks like there's some damage here, like maybe the grafter there was trying to break into where he thought this magical door was. So if the door is now allowing us to pass through because of Lukthaen or Fayal or whoever, I think it's probably the magic is allowing us to do so.
Okay.
I am going to use Arcane Recovery to regain a spell slot during the short rest.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some more health back with a hit die.
Okay.
All right.
So, what do we
I say we go through the magical door.
Okay, so how do we do that? What does that look like?
What does it look like?
Well, I don't know.
I want to get close to where Haugh was getting, like that level, and see if there's any doorknobs or like something to open the door with.
So, so you're gonna walk up towards it?
To like the 5 feet to where it was starting to glow for him.
Go ahead and give me an investigation on that.
And I'll do that as well.
Okay.
I was probably that's 4.
Okay, so
I got a 1.
Okay.
An unnatural 1. I got a 2. -1 modifier.
Walk
Just
up with the holding hands with little.
So who tries it first?
I would.
probably Arlo. Yeah.
Okay. So when you just take a kind of step within that same radius, it glows, but not purple. It glows kind of like a mix between gray or green. It's like a weird in between color, like a faded green maybe. So when you step in, it has this greenish color. You step out, it goes back to being a wall. And you said you probably tried it too?
Mm-hmm.
When you step in, it glows a pretty solid white. Same shape, but you didn't notice anything else. Who else would like to try something?
I would like to go holding hands with this little baby.
Okay.
Can we walk up at the same time?
I mean, you can.
Get within that 5 feet.
Yeah. So go ahead and you roll me an investigation.
Kill the baby.
13.
Okay. So, let's just say you take a step just to see here before Fayal's foot plants, and when you make a step, it glows slightly, not slightly. Yours, it glows yellow when you step on it. What was your investigation?
13.
13? Okay. And then with a 13, you not only do you notice the outline of a door, but in the middle of the door, you see something else glowing as well, which it looks like there's something there. There's something else glowing in the middle of the door that no one else noticed. Everyone's just like, ooh.
Okay.
But you actually saw something.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna reach for that thing.
Okay, so you're stepping and you're gonna reach for it?
Yeah.
Okay. As you do that, go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Oh, that's gonna be 4.
Okay, you don't notice anything else. But what happens is you push that button, and the door slides. This completely stone section of the wall, it begins to slide inward, or slide kind of into the wall, and then it opens a small little room. It's like a closet. It's about as soon as you open it, it only goes about 5 feet before it goes to the right. Again, the length of the room. Right. So again, to go back over the geography, y'all came in through the right side door, and then that door is on the left side. So it kind of takes you that way across the length of that room. So, but you don't know that because you haven't actually walked in. But just to give you that heads up. What do you guys do now?
Want to try in here?
So let me also clarify. What you see is it goes in about 5 feet, and you see a bookshelf. It just goes that way, filled with books. So you're the first one. So what do you want to do?
Let's check out that bookshelf.
Okay. You go check out that book. So as you turn and you make your way into this closet, basically, it's only about 5 feet wide. You see along the entire wall this side is bookshelves, full of books. Starting at the door on this side, also shelves, straight all the way down to the wall. You see just a wall at the end, but what you also see is a statue at the very end, a statue of Lukthaen's master, Exadiel. It's it's lifelike statue, immaculate detail. But you don't know that because you haven't gone in yet. So I'm giving you guys a little too much information before you guys actually see it. But you guys walk in there, or do you?
I would too. Everyone else is going.
All right. So yes, you see all of those things. The books, lots and lots of books, almost nothing but books. But at the far end of the closet, there is some cubbies and stuff like that have stuff that aren't books. And then you see the statue of your master.
When I see that, I'm just gonna make a beeline towards it.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Yeah, so it's in a cool pose, you know what I mean? It's like she's like, almost like, she's like in like a cool pose or something like that, like she's casting a spell or something, you know what I mean? She's got that classic wizard's pose that you see on all the minis. I don't have any here, but yeah, it's immaculate detail. Based on, again, what we've seen so far, based on her, the way that she was, even though you probably never saw statues of her throughout the tower itself, you're probably not surprised that she would actually have a statue of herself. But due to her, probably little arrogant, maybe self-centered nature, probably not at all surprised, but you'd never seen it before. Obviously, this entire place, you hadn't seen it all before anyway. So she probably kept a lot of things hidden down here that you just didn't know about.
Yeah. Is the statue like life-sized? Is it on a pedestal of any kind, or?
It's almost as if maybe it was meant to be placed somewhere. Or, it's just on a plate just to keep it level, and maybe it was meant to get moved somewhere else. Maybe. So that's what you all know for now. What do you guys want to do?
I want to know if, this closet is just a room of her stuff, or if it's valuable stuff in here.
Sure.
Just because that's something he would be interested in.
So you're going to do an investigation, or?
So
what are you looking for specifically?
I think he's just trying to see if this was a closet or a collection of her stuff. Is this just regular books? Are these books just study books, or is this
Go ahead and give me
books?
Go ahead and give me an investigation on that.
Okay.
By the way, I would, after kind of making a beeline over, I would look back at all of you and say, "This is my master."
Ooh.
Beautiful, I think.
12.
Yes.
12? Okay.
Striking.
Why don't you also give me since you're not actively, give me a perception check. And you're just kind of looking around with a 12.
Yeah.
So let's just say with that, you're just kind of looking around. It is mostly books. It is almost wall-to-wall books, except for a few of the cubbies down at the end. Let's just say you, with that, maybe you take one of the books off the shelf and you go to open it up. It's blank. All the pages are blank. Even though these books may seem like maybe they've been here for a while, they're all blank.
If it's just perception, I got an 8.
Okay.
If I had some time, I would probably start looking through some of the text as well.
Sure.
Which
you guys have the time, but immediately you don't notice anything.
So it's just a bookshelf and then a statue of her. That's the only thing we've seen.
So again, the shelves go the whole length of the room. It's
Right.
just books, and then a few areas of not books.
Interesting.
So,
And
Well, I want to check out the areas of not books.
Got it. Okay.
I want to see what's over there.
Yeah, go ahead and give. I mean, just take a look. I mean, it's nothing. Nothing is hiding. You just give me an investigation anyway.
I mean,
see how good you are looking.
I mean, it's a 4. I don't know.
Okay,
4 investigation. Like,
yeah.
You said not books. I wonder what the not book items are.
So yeah, all the not books items, or it's just some stuff, right? But some you don't know what kind of stuff. It's like, oh, this is cool, you know. So what you do see, you see a couple of, like rocks and stones. You see some vials of things, some kind of potions. You don't know what they are. You know, some kind of like armband or gauntlet or bracer. You just know what these things are. You have no fucking clue about really anything else. And then you also see like a almost an, if you can call it, a neat pile of sticks on one of the shelves. So would anyone else like to take closer looks?
With the bracer specifically, is it identical or similar to the one that Fox wears?
This one does not look like that one.
I'm just gonna say, hey guys, there's some stuff down here, but I don't know what any of it is. So
yeah, I'd like to take a look. If it was the yellow that came up for me, I'm just trying to see if I go around other places, if I can.
Okay.
Anything jumps out at me.
So what are you just gonna go investigate around, or what are you looking at specifically?
If there was a reason that like my little aura energy or whatever, that the yellow and everything that came through, if there was something that was tied to, so I'm just trying to put myself in.
So
I don't really know.
I mean, obviously at this point, as you guys entered the room, the door stopped glowing. So you could probably, you just needed to get in apparently. So you don't see anything else besides the stuff, and at least one book that doesn't have anything in it.
Okay, I would go after he said, especially the twigs and stuff, and the minerals and stuff. I want to go see what all of that is, and especially
fireworks, probably. People bought fireworks around here all the time. It's not even New Year's. So, anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But no, yeah. So I want to check like what he went to see. Like, I want to see if I find anything special about any of those items.
Cool. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
11.
Okay. I mean, it's stuff. It's potions of something, and a bracer of some kind, and a pile of sticks. And some rocks.
I want to reach for the sticks.
Okay, cool.
And like I want to grab one first, see like if I see anything special about the stick.
So what happens is you grab one of the sticks, and even though there's nothing connecting, the other 3, so there's 4 sticks, the other 3 come off with it, and it looks like they're all kind of dangling, even though nothing is actually physically connecting this. So you have a stick that seems to somehow be connected. And so go ahead and give me one more investigation on this specifically.
15.
Nice. Okay. So you're just kind of dangling it around. Again, it's like, hello, is there anything here? There's nothing physically connecting it. But as you're just kind of whipping it around, you happen to whip it in just the right motion at all 4 pieces then connect, and now it's like a small kind of like club or something, like a staff, like a nightstick or something like that. It's only about 2 feet long. And so you're able to just whoosh, and it's just like, okay. And then as soon as you kind of like let your wrist go limp a little bit, all those pieces kind of come apart and just kind of dangle again.
Okay. So I'll look at him and be like, have you seen stuff like this before?
Yeah, that ties in perfectly, because what my specific intent is to see if I recognize anything down here from the 40 years that I lived with this woman.
Why don't... I'll just give it to you. Specifically, this doesn't look familiar to you. You haven't seen this before. Just like you haven't seen the statue before. What you are probably putting together in your mind is that this is all of the stuff, or all of this stuff is stuff she absolutely did not want you to see. Again, probably intentionally, given what you do know about her and the type of person that she was. You didn't know this place even existed. You've never seen the statue. You've never seen any of these books. You would probably surmise intentionally to make sure you do not see them.
Right. So I turn to you, Arlo, and I say, I kind of choke through, she was a very private woman. I don't have any more information about these belongings than you.
Okay, so I think we should take all the items, see which ones work for us and which ones no. But the books, they seem to be, at least I opened one up, it seems to be empty. I'm wondering if that might be just a thing of like me specifically opening it and not seeing.
Yeah, can I go check a few books myself? Open, just whatever I see first, random, couple different shelves.
You pull a book off there, you start flipping through the pages, all blank. 100% blank. You pick up another one, blank. Blank. Every single one of them.
Do they seem used, like the outside part of it?
They've definitely been here a while. There's probably a lot of dust and lots of cobwebs and stuff like that. So they haven't been handled lately.
Yeah.
But they don't look new. You know what I mean? Okay. It's not like back in the 90s when you buy the Encyclopedia Britannica and then you never read it.
Okay.
That's going to outdate most of us here.
I reach into my ropes and I pull out a book. And I open it. And I start to kind of peer through. And like being kind of young in my wizardly training, I'm almost like, if I put this book next to the other books, will something happen? But then also, I know that this was, my wizard's master's notes. I'm wondering if there's any information in here about this place, or what it means, or what it does, or anything at all.
Okay. So how do you do that specifically?
I think I'm just kind of standing near one of the shelves, and I think I'm going to put this book onto a shelf. That I can kind of comfortably reach, and then I'm just gonna start. I don't know. I'll have another book that's kind of open nearby.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna start flipping through pages and seeing if I can piece anything together.
Okay, cool. If go ahead while you do that, go ahead and give me an investigation on that as well.
While all of this is happening, I'm gonna start ritual casting detect magic.
Okay.
So it's gonna take a bit.
But detect magic, that's just yes, no, right?
Yeah, it's just anything magical is gonna show up, basically.
If this were, you know how like you're in a dark room for a long time and you go straight out into the sunlight and it's just like just beaming. Yeah. That's what this entire room is. Okay, everything is magic. You're in literally the bowels of a wizard's tower. Everything is magic.
Okay, so all the books are magic.
Yes.
Okay.
So while that's going on, whenever that resolves, I want to try to investigate the bracers, and specifically to see if I recognize them or determine their use.
It is specifically one.
Okay.
But it looks quite a bit back to your previous question, it does look quite a bit different. Let me just double check.
Is the statue also glowing?
I mean, you can't see. There's so much going on.
Okay.
You can't necessarily discern what is actually going on. It's so bright. I don't know if you have a way, if you're able to control that.
I mean, it will show me different types of magic, so like it'll be different colors, the different magic.
Sure.
And I can tell like what type of magic it is.
All the magic.
Yeah, it's all the magic. So so the bracer that you found specifically, it's more like leathery. It's like almost like a solid piece of leather with just fastener at the bottom. It's like a dark bluish color. It just has some nice some fun designs on it. But that's all you can glean from this. Looks cool.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of resolve this mechanically. Step in if you feel like you want to, but I made a roll, and I don't seem to be piecing anything together, and I'm very frustrated with myself, and I'm like, no, and that everybody has taken a few steps forward. You're looking at these bracers, and the last like 5 or 6 seconds don't happen. And I want to try this again because I feel it's really, really important.
Of course.
Much better. So 21 this time.
Nice. So as you're doing that, you are able to see. So you just have one of the other books open?
Yeah, kind of next to me while
Yeah.
I'm looking, and maybe I'm touching both of them and trying different various
Right.
wizardly stupid
Yeah,
things.
of course. So as you with one book open, and you know how sometimes books you kind of have to hold it open with one while you're kind of doing something else. As you're doing that, what you notice is from the spell book is as you pass over the opened book, you notice that the gem on the front cover of it, there's like a little faint glowing from it, and as you pass over the books, like it kind of follows the same path. So only when you're almost directly over it with that book do you just see anything on the book. So it's almost like you just have to pass over it in order to actually see.
So I can now read text when the book is hovering over?
Right. You can see that things are on the page.
Okay. So I'm going to close and secure the spell book, and I'm just going to almost use it like a flashlight.
Right.
And I'm kind of hovering over.
Right. So as you do that, you see certain things. As you kind of scan down the page, you actually can see text and whatever doodles and graphics that have been entered into the book.
Okay. I don't think I would have the wherewithal, like the mental fortitude to just. I don't clue you guys in just because I'm so engrossed in this and what I've found. I'm just going to be pouring books off the shelves. I mean, it'll be pretty obvious if you guys are like looking at me that I seem to have found something, but I'm just like.
I would like to know.
Cropping.
Yeah.
I'm just grabbing different books and seeing, are these personal legends? I don't want any this is the history of the world. I'm looking for like her writing. I know her handwriting. I'm actually really practiced with text and handwriting. And so I would be able to recognize it as any like personal logs or journals, or any text that she had written.
Right.
I would be looking for that.
So let's see. Go ahead and give me an investigation regarding that.
I'll go when he's looking at all the gauntlets. I'm like, let's put this all in a bag and carry it out with us so we can examine it more outside. How much stuff is it? Like the stuff that was in books?
Sure. Let me give you that list real quick. So, you find obviously all the books. You find 4 of those bottles of something that no one can figure out yet. been in there, probably covered in dust. You can't really, and you're probably too afraid to shake it too hard. The one bracer so far, and then the fun stick that you found. All of the books seem to be, or not seem to be. They are definitely pre-printed text. These are, in one form or another, some type of published books, but. The only writing, especially with the 24, the only handwriting that you do see is maybe the occasional note in the margin, definitely your master's writing based on what you do recall. But it's like, like when you were taking notes in class, right? When you're doodling in the margins, if you were like me, you write notes and just like, oh, this one right here, yeah, okay. So maybe some brief little notes in the margins, highlighting if that's
underline.
There you go. Just occasionally that, but all of these are some type of published, previously published, or previously printed, I should say.
Okay, then I'm going to start looking for any mention of anything related to dragons.
It has come up. More, based on your common knowledge of dragons, which is just about 0, it already appears more than you have heard anyone speak of.
Okay.
Obviously, one of the locals has talked about dragons.
Right.
There is obviously a good amount of mention of dragons.
Okay. I don't want to make a huge pile, but if I take a minute and I think that something would be useful to us in our quests, because now dragons are our life, apparently. I'm coming to this realization. I'm going to set it in a neat pile in the center of between the bookshelves.
So as you guys are doing that, Fayal, he as he kind of observes all you guys just kind of palling around and everything, he comes up to you, Lukthaen. He sees you're kind of starting to try to set up shop here. He comes, you're probably like sitting down on the floor or something, just kind of going through everything. He comes up to you and puts his hand on your shoulder, and he speaks to you and says, "Although I felt a presence here, this was not our destination." And then he pulls away and starts kind of seeing what everyone else is doing.
I'm gonna kind of, he kind of shifts his attention away from me. I'm like, but wait, do you think that this pursuit of this information is going to be useful to us? So.
And he starts looking around, and he's trying to.
I'll hand him one of the books that I've pulled off the shelf, and I'll kind of show him so he can he see.
The
text.
So it's kind of like you said. It's just like a flashlight.
Yeah, like a black light almost.
So you can just as soon as you shine it on there, you can read it.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, it had a very specific key, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
So he looks at it and he starts to look around at all the books that you have here. Like, we cannot possibly bring all of these books with us. However, I believe where we are going will provide more answers.
Fayal, you mentioned that you sent something behind here. Is there anything else that you feel like we missed?
I simply... My feelings do not go past the door.
Fair enough.
Okay, I'm gonna say we should probably start looking into leaving soon, but before we do, I want to go specifically to the statue, see if there's some magic, what type of magic is coming out of that.
Okay. So you cast again, or
No,
or
it stays on.
Still going. Okay.
Yeah.
So you do not garner any magic coming off of this.
Okay.
Off of the statue.
Okay.
Arlo, I feel like she probably put one more secret passageway or something here. Can you just... And I'm going to go with him.
Sure.
And if there's any way that I can...
Some kind of advantage or something.
Help his investigation of the rest of the walls and the floors and the statue and the books.
Right.
Pull out a book and maybe a thing goes wide or whatever.
I think it would be better for me to step out of the room and see into. So I think see if I can get a better like grip of like how big this room is, how like everything is. So, but I'm also curious if it goes like as soon as I step out of the wall, if it's just gonna like all disappear.
Sure.
So I'll like go back out the door and see if I still see.
So what you see, obviously the room full of light and full of things that glow with some kind of magic. Obviously the doorway to a certain extent that you guys already encountered. But looking towards looking into the room, you don't see anything that goes beyond that. You can't tell anything else that, it doesn't go beyond the walls or another sub-level or anything like that. So you could probably surmise that this is the last room.
Okay, so I will let everybody know, and I will be like, and if you ever do want to study the books more clearly, I feel like this is not going anywhere. If you want to come back and see any books, but I think for right now, for as far as we're doing right now, I think we should head out and maybe go get some rest and patch up a little bit.
I'm just worried that whoever came here will come looking for that grafted one. And they might gain access that they didn't gain before.
Well, they won't be able to read any of the text. But do you think there's a way to reseal the wall?
We can try.
I want to see if there was any books outside from where the guy that was grafting, if he had like any books or anything magical around.
Right. Other than himself, obviously has probably some type of wizard himself, and the magical properties that you guys can probably discern from any dragon or draconic powers. You don't see anything else in that room. All of the other books have been destroyed, ransacked. So you could probably you could probably take an educated guess in saying they couldn't get into that room, and they probably couldn't read the books that were in this room, and so they just might as well just destroyed them all.
Did the door stay open as we were inside?
Correct. When you're inside, as you guys are inside, the door is still open. Yes.
I'm gonna kind of gently make a gesture that we should all leave.
Give me one more investigation check.
Okay. I was gonna mention that I had never actually investigated the door, like on the way in, but sure.
Yeah, just give me one more to see if I can give you something else.
Just 12.
Okay. And you know what? Why doesn't Fox give me one?
14.
Okay. So as you guys are making your way out, the cool pose that Exariel is in, the way that she's posed, like her robes may have, the robe is like a little farther down her arm, and you see a bracer that looks very similar to hers. So
would that not glow when I got close
No.
to it? Okay.
It's just on the statue.
It's part of the carving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all, It's just all
Okay.
part of the statue.
So
But
she's part of the sisterhood.
Okay.
What was the sisterhood called? That
Did I
Adira? Did you give us the name of the sisterhood?
give you the name?
I don't know.
I think I think she said she was part of the sisterhood.
Right, but I didn't give you the actual name of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
I will also ask you if the crystal in your journal is like a specific, or is it just like a certain mineral? Like
This was my master's dying wish that I have this. This is a. I don't know if you have good passive insight, but I'm very clearly about to say something, and I stop myself, and I say this was the prized text that belonged to my master, but I know very little.
Yeah.
So-
You just know it's blue.
okay.
Ooh, pretty.
I'm not lying about knowing
yeah.
what the book is like made out of or anything like that.
Yeah. No.
So on the way out, after everybody has exited the back area, I'm going to now try my hand at. I will step in front of the door and see if I can figure out how to properly seal it.
Sure. That's an easy one, because as soon as you guys start making your way out, as soon as all you guys are out of there, it starts to close. It just closes automatically.
We're special.
So yeah.
Interessante.
Just because I know you have one, I'm gonna wait to see what happens when I remain standing in front of it.
How far?
When I saw everybody kind of step forward, and eventually I saw that there was like a color emanating for everyone, I will do what they did.
Yours. So when you're standing there, it glows blue. And then you see the same button in the same spot.
Okay. What I want to do is take some kind of detritus from the surrounding area, whether there's maybe some dirt, some dust, jagged pieces of book. I'm going to like wet it if I have to like spin on it or whatever. Maybe I have like a water skin. I'm gonna smear it over the center piece so that it won't illuminate properly in the middle when someone steps there.
Okay.
So they can't see where they have to make contact to enter.
Understood. Yeah. So you just kind of try to cover that little piece or that rock that coincidentally just happens to look like a button. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, you're able to do that. I mean, the rest is just some kind of natural stone, so you're able to just kind of cover it. And unless you're looking for it, you probably wouldn't notice.
I'm gonna ask you if I could just see the stone. Like, if you could just show me the stone.
Okay.
And
I will hold it up, but I've got like a two-hand firm grip, and I don't extend it too far off of my body.
My thing is, I just want to know if I've seen the stone like in nature before. Like if it's a regular mineral, like if it's a ruby, like something like that.
Yeah. Give me a nature.
Okay, nature.
Can I make that same check now,
course.
since I'm actually like thinking about it?
Yeah, you actually have a little more cognizant of what's going on.
An 8.
Okay.
Also an 8.
Okay. Well, you haven't seen it before, so you know.
Okay.
It's a rock. It's a pretty rock. Okay. So you guys go ahead and make your way out of the back out, and just like Temple of Doom style, no, not Temple of Doom, Last Crusade style, Indiana Jones, right? They had to go through all those traps to get in, but then they just waltz right out. No problem, no issue. So you guys make your way out of this basement, and again, Fayal just kind of points to the west, encouraging guys just to keep going that way.
What time of day is it outside?
It's probably only been a couple hours, so there's still daylight. It's getting it's probably you probably won't go much farther without having to set up camp.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe we should get a little bit. If this is a hotbed of interest for people that are clearly dangerous, then maybe we should get a couple miles away from here before we set camp for the night.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
Very good. Okay, so yeah, you guys spend probably the rest of the daylight hours to just keep going as far as you can until you decide to make up camp for the night. What you don't see is back at the tower, or what's left of the tower. Inside the room that you left the defeated dragon Grafter. So we see his corpse on the ground. Well, your characters don't see it, but his corpse on the floor. And then in the doorway, we see a dark figure. Well, the figure is in dark robes, a dark cloak. The hood is up, and he has some type of mask, like a very metallic mask over his whole face. So you can't see what kind. You can't see who he is. You know nothing about this person, obviously. So he walks in, and he has a couple of minions with him, and he looks down at the Grafter, and it just kind of kneels down a little bit, just kind of surveying what may have happened here. Then we cut to inside of the closet where your master statue is, and we see that this individual is also inside of that room. Looks like he walked through the door as well. And he takes out his sword. The sword has this glowing red energy, probably some type of flaming, fiery sword. Just has this glowing red energy. And with about as good of a swing as he can get in this narrow space, he chops off the head of the statue, and it falls to the ground. Without bending down, he simply puts his hand out, and it levitates up into his hand. And he holds it, just looking at it, and he simply places it onto one of the shelves. And you can't see his face, right? He's wearing some type of metallic mask. It's as if... I'm trying to give a good reference. But you can't see the eyes through the holes. You can't... There's just like a straight face on the mask. Probably has like elf-like features, but again, it's just a metallic mask. You can't see his actual features. And he simply walks back out the door. It closes behind him, and then, but before he leaves, he takes out a dagger and goes back down to the Grafter, and he cuts off one of his fingers from the dragon claw, and he keeps that with him. And he puts that into one of his pockets. And then him and his minions all eventually leave. And that is where we will end today's session.